definition of fitness, you now know looks like this, right? And it's an average of all your workouts. And all it is a snapshot of what you are physically right now. So if we had a competition to evaluate your fitness, there would be nothing to stop you from, say, taking exogenous hormonal therapy, EPO, steroids, anything like that to actually win. And it was hard to bridge the fourth curiosity, which to us was still very important, but very irksome because it was hard to integrate that into the definition of 3 models of fitness. What ended up happening, I think 2 years ago, I think 2007, Glassman was just observing this lecture being given at one of his certs. And so we've got 2 axes here. What he just did mathematically was take a third axis. I'm gonna try to draw a 3D graph, right? So take a third axis and pull it out, and call this axis age, and your curve will pull this out as well, and so it should look like that, like the corner of a room. You guys see that? Yes? All right. So this area under the curve now becomes a 3-dimensional solid that comes across. And so your fitness across your age at that point became our definition of health. So where fitness is work capacity across broad time and modal domains, health is fitness persistently elevated. So now let's play this game as well. Let's picture a 90-year-old gentleman who in his 30s represented the top echelons of fitness in the world, right? And so at 90, the guy is still self-sufficient, can still pump his groceries up and down the stairs and in and out of his house. He's still good with the wife at home, and he can still go to a bar, and if a 20-year-old tries to pick a fight with him, he'll kick the 20-year-old's ass, right? Picture the guy, 90 years old. So but if a doctor says, what's his cholesterol? How do I know if he's healthy or not? Well, that's the kind of cholesterol I want to have. Right? Like, I want that cholesterol if I can do that. Whereas if you've got someone in the nursing home who is not self-sufficient, not independent, but all their blood work is good, that is not the picture of health to us, right? These metrics, our metrics of fitness, our metrics of health, are mechanical, not molecular. So based on just the original Newtonian mechanics, and it addresses a quality of life issue that had not been addressed before in a mathematical way. So a good example of this is there was I think there was a 70-year-old lady who was inches away from going to the nursing home because at this point she could not actually carry her groceries up the steps and bring them into her house and do it without needing some assistance, right? And that's scary. It's scary. So it ended up that she met a CrossFitter and he taught her how to squat and deadlift, and essentially got her able to actually do those daily tasks and saved her from the nursing home. Very emotional, right? But at this point, what good would it be to talk about her blood work? It's not a relevant point to us. They may become components of our definition of health, but not first order concerns at the slightest, right? The kind of life we want you to have, and I've told this to Jackson before, is we want you to live to say something like maybe 100, 110, and you're in a convertible with your girlfriend and you're running away from the cops because you did something crazy and you did a CrossFit workout that morning. Like, that's how we want you to live. And so Glassman has this fear that medical science will one day get human beings to live to something like 130, 140, 150 maybe, but they're going to the nursing home at 75 or 80. And to him, that's this very terrifying thought. It's like dying at 75 and going to hell to him, right? And that is not the picture of health to us. If you look at centenarians that live to 100 plus, what you see is a very, very large work capacity because they're very vital human beings, right? I know the Tarahumara Indians in Mexico, they've got 95-year-old guys who are running hundreds of miles, but they'll just drop dead at like 102, 103, and that's best case. That's best case scenario. So very, very vital. And once you reach 100, you've got a few years, and then nothing. It's a better deal to us than prolonging that and just laying around. Right? This is about capacity. It's about vitality. Right? And plus, like I said before, as far as defining terms, they don't come in flavors right or wrong. These are just our definitions of health and fitness. They may not jive with your definition of health and fitness, but these are ours, and we can talk about it meaningfully now. Right? It's not like I am fitter than you, and well, how do we measure that claim? We now have a metric by which to measure it. Same thing with health. Right? So fitness, work capacity across broad time and modal domains. Health is fitness persistently elevated over your life. So that's our definitions of fitness and health. CrossFit We'll talk about the definition of CrossFit now.